Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff, it's in the state of Tennessee. Today is early April the 7th, 2019, the time 2:15 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for you, continue to encourage my support, continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area, continue to further my education, Monroe College Online, pursuing my social security instead of being administration, contract mark. At the present time, taking a break from going to school, and in the very near future, I will be going back to Monroe College Online to continue to pursue my social security instead of being administration, contract mark. Also, this year, January 2019, enrolled at Tech Institute of Memphis right here in this Memphis tri-state area, and studying in the program medical assistant. For the reason, back in 2009, 2010, I was a student at Remington College right here in the Memphis tri-state area, and I was in a medical business coding program. I did graduate with a diploma, but they didn't offer the certification with the diploma. So without the certification, you can't be employed in the healthcare field. So I still got to pay all that student loan back and all that. And so what I did, like I said, this year in 2019, January 2019, I enrolled in Health Tech Institute of Memphis in the medical assistant program. 9-month program from January to October. And I graduated with a diploma plus the certification, which will enable me to be employed in the healthcare field. Then I'll be able to pay my student loans back, and then I'll be able to go back to Monroe College Online, but continue to pursue my social security study, administrative contract mark. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna do my Instagram. Excuse me. Change the weather. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis in the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today is early Sunday morning, April the 7th, 2019, the time 2:19 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for you, continue encouragement, support. Anti-gang. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites you go to make anti-gang logo. Now, first, always put God first. Always put God first. Always. Give thanks to God for all the blessings. God blesses you, and thank God for guiding you. You know, you need God to guide you. Always put God first. That's the most important thing of all. First and most important. Put God first. Make God first. Now, let me say this. I know this week, but it's on my mind. Being that this is April, the month of April, and during the month of April, as you know, Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. April 3rd, 1968. So I want to always remember the tragedy, the tragedy behind it, and a great man tried to stand for tried to stand for what's right, and was killed for that, and so still want to always remember Dr. Martin Luther King for the sacrifice and service, and that he gave. And also one more thing while it's on my mind. The United Nations International Day of Sport for Development and Peace. United Nations. Now I know. Let me say this. I might be sniffling a little bit because it's that time of year that the weather change, and I know everybody. I know a lot of people can relate. That change of weather, it can have an effect on all of us. It affect all of us, So and so might be a little sniffling, but I'm gonna take a few minutes. I'm not gonna try to be too long on Instagram because I want to go ahead and go to my Periscope video, and I always have my YouTube channel recording, but I want to go ahead and go because I don't want to take up a lot of my time that I'm recording on Instagram, and then take up all the time. Then when I switch over to my Periscope, I don't have as much time to do my Bible reading like I like to. So but I'm still gonna spend time on Instagram because there's just as many people on Instagram, and I want to make sure that I reach them and continue to stand for the one church, and continue to speak out and complain about all this gangsterism and all this devil worship and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to continue to complain and speak out. People saying they're a gang. excuse me. People saying they're a gang, they're a mob. Merriam-Webster Third New International Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary. Then they say that, then they put the word stir on the end, a gang and mob. That's not smart. That's not smart, And so, then you say you're a boss, you're a goon, you're a thug, you're a crook and a hoodlum, you're a Mac and a player, you're a pimp, you're a whore, you're a hustler, you're a nigga, field nigga, house nigga. People say that stuff. You hear a lot of these so-called celebrity athletes and celebrity entertainers. They be saying that ignorant nonsense. Excuse me. Street slang. People all over there communicate and use language. And I intend to say that for that reason. And street slang. And so examples of street slang, tic-tac-toe, hopscotch. When it comes to music, hip and hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, doo, wop, bebop. It's street slang. Not official writing about no street slang. When it comes to money, currency exchange, we can go to Wikipedia, the quick reference, and we can look up money, currency exchange. People all over the earth use money, they use currency, and use exchange, and they make up street slang. For example, here in the United States of America, street slang for money, currency exchange: bucks, rack, stack, bands, bread, dope, scratch, loot, moolah, Benjamin's dead presidents. It's street slang. Nothing right official about no street slang. Now you take me for instance. I graduated high school, got a high school diploma. Got some years of college. Now I haven't finished my, I haven't earned my associate's degree in Monroe College online. I took a break, but I do intend to go back to school and earn my associate's degree in business administration, construction, marketing. Now you have some people that earn GED. Then you have those people who just didn't go that far in school, period. And so you don't know reading, you don't know writing, you don't know math, you don't know science, you don't know technology, you don't know social studies. And when it comes to vocational technical training, on the job training, you just didn't go that far in school. So excuse me, you don't know. And so, but you have those people that do know. Now let me say this: you have those people that earn a master's degree, PhD. They took the ACT, SAT. Now I know there's been some controversy, some scandals lately in the news, but it's not nothing new. It's not nothing new. It's been something. It's been something that's been an issue for many years about people cheating their way through school, and you know what I'm talking about. It's not nothing new, but it's been reported in the news, but it ain't nothing new. And the sorority and the fraternity. Now, Harvard University is the oldest institute of higher learning in the United States of America. Founded March 13, 1639, Cambridge, Massachusetts. And then you have William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693, second oldest institution of higher learning here in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December the 5th, 1776. The College of William and Mary is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. And then you have Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority founded in 1851, Wesleyan College, Macon, Georgia. And the first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874 at Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. And so then you had this first women's fraternity. And it was founded around 18 something, in DePaul College. But the basis of the sorority and fraternity is them old world secret society. Old world secret society. For example, the Eastern Stars, the Freemasons. Now, they talk about Euclid, the mathematician, and he lived in Alexandria, Egypt, around 1390, 1425, and they talk about him in the Holloway manuscript, the Regis poem, and also the Cook manuscript. And then you also have another manuscript, the Dowling manuscript, and also examples of them old world secret society: Skull and Bone, Rosicrucians, the Son of the Liberty Thug Society, Private Scion, Ordo Templi Orientis, Knights of the Golden Eagle Woodman, the Ancient Arabic Order of Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, Improved Order of Redmond, the P.O. Sisterhood, the Eastern Star, the Freemasons, the Lower Order Music, the Elks, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Bethesda, Knights of Columbus, Illuminati, Forester Society, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of the Veil, Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Cross, the United Ancient Order of Druids, the National Grand Ancient Order of Hermannans. And there's some more. There's some more. Some more. There's just a few. There's some more. And the Spanish Garduna, the Carbonaria, the Black Hand. Now, the Afro-Asiatic Mafia, that's Afro-Asiatic. And Cosa Nostra, that's Latin. Then you had the Triad, the Yakuza, Osirica, and there's just a few, there's some more. So don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. You know, the sorority and the fraternity, they commit crimes on and off the campus, for example, hazing. And don't forget the sorority and fraternity, you know, they be involved in all that devil worship and stuff with this, with their initiation stuff, with their initiation, devil worship. They use and abuse tobacco products, chewing tobacco, cigarettes and cigars. Then they had the nerve to put drugs in the cigarettes and cigars. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you because they're on a college campus. They're not trying to do what's right. As you know, they commit crimes on and off the campus. They indulge in immoral activities, assault, robbery, burglary, cheating, stealing, lying, extortion, racketeering, and you name it. They indulge in gambling, in games of chance. They indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Look, renounce the people that started the sorority and fraternity. Denounce the whole idea of a sorority and fraternity. Don't join the sorority. Get out the sorority. Discourage others from having any involvement in the sorority and fraternity. Expose the sorority and fraternity. The sorority and fraternity. They work for these businesses, companies, and corporations. They use and misuse the background check. And for the companies, businesses, companies, and corporations. And they commit crimes against humanity, atrocities. They violate human rights and civil rights. Inhumanity, genocide, and ethnic cleansing. All forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, ground, and water, and noise pollution. They also pollute the environment, nature. You know, they destroy the environment, they destroy nature, and they destroy wildlife. Don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead. They practice devil worship. So, just like them poachers, just like people that do all that poaching, they devil worship. They devil worship. Animal sacrificing, human sacrifice. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Now, this is the International Bill of Human Rights. And this is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And this is the Declaration on the Rights of the Child. This is the United Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. Now, there are many other organizations such as the ones we just mentioned, such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline, Defending Human Rights Without Frontier, International Center for Human Rights, and also Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Voters, Earth Watch, Institute Conservatives Association, Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteers, and also the Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, the Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Association, Rare Species Conservation Center, Wildlife Research Conservation Trust, Rainforest Trust, International Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Alliance, the Rainforest Action Network, and also Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, and also Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Oceanic Preservation Society, Ocean Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance. And there are many more organizations such as the one we just mentioned. And they try, like, the purpose, to end, to stop, the sorority and the fraternity from committing the crimes. And they work for these businesses, companies, and corporations, and they commit these crimes against humanity. They commit atrocity. They violate human and civil rights. Inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment, the pollution of the air, groundwater, and noise pollution, the destruction of the environment, nature, and wildlife. Don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. And as you know, the sorority and fraternity, they be the ones who be going around lying about the Constitution, going around lying about the United States Constitution, talking about you got freedom of expression and freedom of assembly and freedom of speech and freedom of religion and freedom of the press and all these other freedoms that are guaranteed to our people here in the United States of America. And they be lying to people. I mean, the Bill of Rights is there for people, but it be people in these street gangs, these organized crime, in these criminal street gangs, criminal street organizations. And the sorority and fraternity be lying to people. They be lying to people. There's no such thing as no gang or mob on the East Coast. There's no such thing as no riding around on motorcycles. Talking about you in a gang and you're a motorcycle mob and you're a motorcycle gang. There's no such thing to be the sorority and fraternity line. It was them same criminals that came over from the old world. They came to the East Coast, and then them same criminals left the East Coast and came to the Midwest and used Chicago, Illinois for the same purpose, for criminal activities. And it's no such thing as Chicago, Illinois being a gang base or a mob base. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as no folk gang or no my people gang in Chicago. There's no such thing. And be the sorority and fraternity doing that. The sorority and fraternity. There's no such thing as Los Angeles, California being a gang base or a mob base. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's nowhere on this earth. No such thing. It be the sorority and fraternity line. See them same criminals that was on the East Coast. It was them same criminals that left the East Coast. That went to Chicago, Illinois. Them same criminals that was up there in Chicago, Illinois. Used Los Angeles, California. There's no such thing. There's no criminals doing that. There's no such thing as no gang base, no mob base in Los Angeles, California. There's no such thing as no blood gang, no crip gang, no stone gang. There's no such thing. It be the sorority and fraternity line. Now, this is a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. Now, such as places that the Native Americans state names, and then you have regions or districts or counties. You understand? Rivers, lakes, brook streams, rocks, trees, the grass. And so on and so forth. Okay, and such as state names, for example, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Now let me scroll down to Let me scroll down. I had to scroll down where it says see also list of place names of indigenous origin in Americas. So the Native Americans and the First Americans. Now, like I said, list of place names of indigenous origin in the Americas. As you know, Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, the devil. As you know, he wrote those epistles. He wrote epistles, and in those epistles, he called himself an apostle. He's a liar. He's a murderer. He's the devil. Now, all these devil-worshiping people, they use those epistles that he wrote. And one of the verses that they use, Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the Holy Kiss, the church, with the suffix ES of Christ salute you. And another verse that they use, 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix ES of God for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Now, the Catholic Church and all their particular churches, they organize crime. They devil worshippers. The Latin Rite, Alexander Rite, Armenian Rite, Byzantine Rite, the East Syrian Rite, and the West Syrian Rite. The Protestant Reformation Movement Church in 95 Theses. They are the Catholic Church and all their particular church, and they all are organized crime, devil worship. And you have all these major branches: Adventism, Anabaptism, Anglicanism, Baptist Church, Calvinism, Lutheranism, Methodism, Pentecostalism, minor branches, Hussitism, Waldensianism, Plymouth Brethren, Holiness Movement, Quakerism. You have interdenominational movement, evangelicalism, charismatic movement, neo-charismatic movement. You have other development, Arminianism, Pietism, Puritanism, Neo-Orthodox, Paleo-Orthodox, Christian fundamentalism, modernism, liberalism. You have other related movements, non-denominational churches, house churches. It's all organized crime, devil worship. Now, the American Restoration Movement, the Stone Campbell Movement, that's the Catholic Church. It's organized crime, devil worship. The Church of Christ, the Churches of Christ, the unaffiliated Christian Church, Church of Christ Congregation, the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. Devil worship, deistic Satanism and atheist Satanism and Satanism. Cult, new religion movement, anti-cult movement. Western esotericism, Western mystical tradition, Hermetism, Gnosticism, Neoplatonism, Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry, Age of Enlightenment, Spiritualism, Kabbalah, Arcane, Microcosm, Occult, and Exoteric. Occultism, arcane, esoteric, spiritualism, theosophy, anthroposophy, Hermetic order of the Golden Dawn, New Age, occult science, astrology, alchemy, natural magic, occult qualities, magnetism, eternal culture. List of occult terms from A to Z. Now you have a list of occult symbols. Now these are world religions and occult symbols. And these are occult symbols. And so, like I say, don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. As you can see, all that stuff, them old world secret societies, all that sorority and fraternity stuff, that's what all that was. And so don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. And don't forget the Moorish Science Temple, all these old world, other world religious organizations. The Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation, the American Muslim Society. Don't forget them, because I'm telling you, it's coming a day real soon. You're gonna see that courtroom, the Rastafarians, and what was that? What's his name? Khalid Muhammad. He was associated with the Nation of Islam. He started that new Black Panther Party, and all these Black Hebrew Israelites. What's his name over there in Israel? Ben Ami. The Black Hebrew Israelites. Well, it's temporary. It's a temporary thing right now. And also, like I said, the Black Panther, all these Black Hebrew Israelites, the Rastafarians, and all this Pan-Africanism and all that stuff. And then, what's it called? The Mormons, Scientology, for example, what's the name? Jim Jones, for example, David Koresh, for example, and what's it called? The Zoroastrians. They had a prophet. And then Islam, Islam had this, what's the name? Prophet Muhammad, the Sunni Muslim, Prophet Muhammad, Sunni Muslim, and the Shiite Muslim. They have Prophet Ali. You understand? They say claiming that he's supposed to be the last prophet. Muhammad supposed to be the last prophet. Then they got to argue with the Shiites about Ali and all that, about the last prophet. And the Baha'i, they had a prophet. The Baha'i had a prophet, and the Sikhs, they had a prophet. All this stuff about a prophet. Somebody trying to claim they're a prophet, they this and that. But it's coming to it's a day coming real soon. It's temporary for a whole lot of people. It's temporary. Religious persecution. There's a lot of people finna be held accountable and responsible for persecuting the one and only church that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Son of God, established. It's a whole lot of people for a long period of time. The Catholic Church been one of the main perpetrators, but they're not perpetrating by themselves. They're not the only one. The so-called Jews persecuting the children of Israel, and persecuting the church. You understand? The church being persecuted, and that's one of the main perpetrators. The Catholic Church. It started with the devil, of course, the devil, and the people that's influenced by the devil who follow and listen to the devil worshippers. But we have a United Nations, and every nation on this earth is a member of the United Nations. Is a member of the United Nations, and we have an International Criminal Court, and the Public Defender's Office, the Prosecuting Attorney's Office. That's what it's there for justice, for international justice. And it is a crime being committed, religious persecution, and conspiring against the church. And that's to persecute the church. And so it's going to be criminal and civil charges. Criminal and civil charges. Ain't not dismissing anything. You can forget that. That's not even an option. I'm telling you right now, it's not even an option. Dismissing, you can stay on the street for all as far as I'm concerned. Leave you on the street walking. It's temporary. See, you're not smart. See, you must think. See, there's a lot of people that think they smart, but you're gonna find out the hard way. You're not smart. You're not smart. You're gonna find out the hard way. You're gonna be held accountable and responsible. See, that's what God said about the devil. The devil's being punished by God for eternity. For eternity. And see, God said to all those who try to worship, who influenced by the devil, and you are following and listening to the devil. See, you've been deceived by the devil. You've been deceived by the devil. The devil being punished by God as we speak at this moment, being punished. And you, as a devil worshiper, you gonna be punished just like the devil by God. God gonna punish you just like he punished the devil. So I'm gonna get ready to end today's video, my Instagram video. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites you go to make anti-gang logos. So like I said, I'm going to get ready to end my Instagram video. And then after I end my Instagram video, I'm going to do my Periscope video. I am, right now, my YouTube channel is recording. It's recording right now. So we get ready to end my Instagram video and do my Periscope video. Oh, I almost forgot. I'll do this. Well, I left my comment. So now I'm in my Instagram video. So now, like I said, I ended my Instagram video, so now I'm gonna do my Periscope video. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also on BrightShine, right here in the center of Memphis, County, Sheriff, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, April the 7th, 2019. The time 3:10 a.m. First thing, thanking all my family support for your continued encouragement and support. Anti-game. Anti-game. Now, these are just a few of the free logo design websites you can go to make anti-gang logos. Now, remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. Now, feel like sound like I'm a little sniffy. Well, this change of weather. I mean, it was really warm. It was hot, but the change of weather kind of having a little effect. But I'm all right. I'm a little sniffy, a little bit. But I'm going to continue to for while it's on my mind. Now, as you know, this is the month of April, and at the beginning of the month, Dr. Martin Luther King, the month of April the 3rd, you understand, and was assassinated. It was April 3rd, April 4th, if I'm not mistaken. But as you know, Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. And that's the important thing about that's the tragedy. That's the tragedy that a man's life was taken. It wasn't no excuse for that. And that's what we want to always remember. The injustice that was done for this man's life to be taken, and he stood up for what. For civil rights, human rights, and things of this nature. But this man's life was taken, and we don't want to forget that this man stood for peace and the sacrifice he made and the service. We don't want to forget Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and as well as others. And also one more thing, the United Nations. International Day of Sport for Development and Peace, United Nations. Now, I'm going to continue to complain. I'm going to continue to speak out. People saying they are a gang. People saying they are a mob. Then they had the nerve to put this word stir on the end of it. Now, Merriam-Webster's Third New International Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary, it tell you what the word mob. They tell you what the word gang means. They tell you what the word mob means. They tell you what the word stir means. And then you had the nerve to talk about you're a boss, you're a goon, you're a thug, you're a crook and a hoodlum, you're a mac and a player, you're a pimp and a whore, and you're a hustler. You even said you was a nigga. You was a nigga. A field nigga, house nigga. It's street slang. People all over the earth communicate and use language. Okay. But and people all over there communicate and use language, and I intend to say that for that reason. And street slang, nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Tic-tac-toe, hopscotch. Some more examples of street slang: music, hip and hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, doo-wop, bebop. Nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now we can go to Wikipedia, the quick reference, and we can look up street slang for money, currency exchange. People all over the earth use money, use currency, use exchange, and they make up street slang for money, currency exchange. Now here in the United States of America, examples of street slang for money, currency exchange for here in the United States of America: bucks, rack, stack, bands, bread, dough, scratch, loot, moolah, Benjamin, dead president. None official, none writing about no street slang. True. Now I graduated high school, and I do have some years of college. Now I'm gonna go back to Monroe College online, and I'm gonna earn my associate degree in business administration, concentrating marketing. I took a break. from going to school. I gotta pay them student loans back. Now, some people, they earn a GED. Then you have those people that just didn't go there for high school, period, and for whatever reason. But then you don't know reading, you don't know writing, you don't know math. You don't know science and technology, you don't know social studies. And then when it comes to vocational technical training, on-the-job training, then you have those people that went further in school and they earned a bachelor degree, master degree, PhD. Now let me say this: there's been some controversy, been some scandals recently, but it's been a big issue for a long period of time about cheating. It ain't just started recently. Well, I mean, something being reported, but this is not something that's been it's always been an issue about people cheating. The sorority and the fraternity. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Harvard University, the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America, March 13, 1639, Cambridge, Massachusetts. William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia. Founded February 8, 1693, second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December the 5th, 1776. The College of William and Mary is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority, founded in 1851, Wesleyan College, Macon, Georgia. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November the 11th, 1874, Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. Now we know about the first women's fraternity, DuPaul College, 18-something. And then you have now the basis of the sorority fraternity, them old world secret society. For example, the Eastern Stars and the Freemasons. They be talking about Euclid, the mathematician, lived in Alexandria, Egypt, 1390, 1425, and they talk about him in the Hollowell manuscript, the Regis poem, and their Cook manuscript. And then there's another manuscript, the Dowling manuscript. Now, examples of them old world secret society: Skull and Bone, Rosicrucian, the Sons of Living, the Thug Society, Private Scion, Ordo Templi Orientis, Knights of the Golden Eagle of Woodman, the Ancient Arabic Order, the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, the Improved Order of Redmond, the Pure Sisterhood, the Eastern Star, Freemasons, the Elks, the Lower Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Pythias, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forest of Society, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of the Veil, Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Cross, the United Ancient Order of Druid, National Grand Ancient Order of Hermannid. That's just a few. There's some more. The Spanish Garduna, the Carbonari, the Black Hand. When you say Mafia, that's Afro-Asiatic. You say Cosa Nostra, that's Latin. The Triad, the Yakuza, the Osirica. It's just a few. There's some more. So don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. The sorority and fraternity, they commit crimes on the campus and off the campus. For example, hazing. Hazing is a crime. Hazing is a crime. And the sorority and fraternity, they practice devil worship. They use all them initiation rituals. They devil worship. They practice devil worship. They use and abuse tobacco products. Chewing tobacco, cigarettes and cigars. And they put drugs in the cigarettes and cigars. And then you got all these new ways of smoking. They indulge in gambling and games of chance. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you because they on a college campus. They indulge in immoral activities, assault, cheating, stealing, lying, robbery, burglary, extortion, bribery, you name it. We can go on and on. They indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. And the sorority and fraternity, they work for these businesses, these companies, and these corporations. They use and misuse the background check. And they commit crimes against humanity, atrocity. They violate human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, ground, water, and noise pollution. They destroy the environment. They destroy nature. They destroy wildlife. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you because they're on a college campus. This is the International Bill of Human Rights. And this is the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And this is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. Now there are many, as you can see, just like those organizations, there are many other organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline Defenders, Human Rights Without Frontiers, International Service for Human Rights, and also Wildlife Conservation Network, the Endangered Wildlife Trust, Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Association, Rare Species Conservation Center, Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, International Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Alliance, Rainforest Action Network, Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Voters, Earthwatch Institute, Conservancy Association, Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteers, and also the Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, and also Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Ocean Preservation Society, Oceanic Society, Global Ocean Commission, the International Marine Life Alliance, and there are many, many more other organizations. And these organizations are trying to end and trying to stop the sorority and the fraternity, those old world secret society that are the basis of the sorority fraternity. They work for these businesses, companies, and corporations, and they are committing crimes against humanity, atrocities, violations of human rights and civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment, the pollution of the air, ground, water, and noise pollution, and also the destruction of the environment, nature, and wildlife. Don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled because they're on a college campus. The sorority and the fraternity, they be lying about the Constitution. Yes, the Constitution do have Bill of Rights. The sorority and fraternity, they go around lying, trying to tell people you got freedom of speech, you got freedom of expression, you got freedom of assembly, you got freedom of the press, you got freedom of religion, and so on and so forth. Yes, the Constitution does have the Bill of Rights. They lie about the Constitution. The sorority and fraternity, they lie. You understand? See, it's no such thing as a gang base or a mob base on the East Coast. There's no such thing. The sorority and the fraternity be lying. They be lying. There's no such thing riding around on a motorcycle talking about you in a gang, you in a mob. There's no such thing. That be the sorority and fraternity. See, you have to remember world history. People came over from the old world, committed all these atrocities, all this inhumanity. You understand? You see, there's no such thing as saying all that ignorant nonsense, all them words. It was some criminals came over here. It was some criminals came over. Some devil worship. And them same criminals, them same devil worshippers, they left the East Coast and went to the Midwest, went up to Chicago, Illinois. See, there's no such thing as no gang base and no mob base in Chicago, Illinois. No such thing. There's no such thing, no folk gang, no my people gang in Chicago, Illinois. That's the sorority and the fraternity lying. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Those same daggone criminals leaving the East Coast and then going to the Midwest, to Chicago, Illinois, and then going from the Chicago, Illinois, to Los Angeles, California. There's no such thing. There's no gang-based, no mob-based in Los Angeles, California, nowhere on this earth, nowhere in this universe. There's no such thing worshiping the devil. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. No Crip gang, no Blood gang, no Crip gang. There's no such thing. There's no Stone gang. There's no such thing. The sorority and the fraternity be lying. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Don't be misled by the sorority and fraternity. Now we have here a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. The Native Americans, the first Americans. Now, state names, districts, counties, regions named by Native Americans, first Americans. Rivers, lakes, streams, brooks, trees, the grass, so on and so forth. State names, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Now I'm going to scroll down to where it says, let me see here. I'm going to scroll down where it says see also list of place names of indigenous origin in the Americas. Now, Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. He's a liar. He's a murderer. He's the devil. Now, the devil worshippers, they use those epistles that he wrote. Now, one of the verses in those epistles that he wrote that the devil worshiper used, Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the holy kiss, the church, with the suffix es of Christ salute you. And this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4. So that we ourselves glory you in the church. Church with the suffix es, churches of God, for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Now, the Catholic Church and their particular churches, they are organized crime. They are devil worshippers. The Latin Rite, Alexandrian Rite, Armenian Rite, Byzantine Rite, the East Syrian Rite, the West Syrian Rite. The Protestant Reformation Movement Church and the 95 Theses. They are the Catholic Church and all their particular churches. And they all are organized crime, devil worship. Major branches: Adventism, Anabaptism, Anglicanism, Baptist Church, Calvinism, Lutheranism, Methodism, Pentecostalism. Minor branches: Hussitism, Barbarism, Plymouth Brethren, Holiness Movement, Quakerism, Interdenomination Movement, Evangelicalism, Charismatic Movement, Neo-Charismatic Movement. You have other development: Arminianism, Pietism, Puritanism, Neo-Orthodox, Paleo-Orthodox, Christian fundamentalism, modernism, and liberalism. Related movement: non-denominational churches, house church, organized crime, devil worship. The American Restoration Movement, Stone Camel Movement. That's the Catholic Church, organized crime, devil worship. The Churches of Christ, the unaffiliated Christian Church, Church of Christ Congregation, the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. Devil worship, theistic Satanism and atheistic Satanism, and Satanism. Now you have cult, new religious movement, and anti-cult movement. Western esotericism, Western mystery tradition, Hermetism, Gnosticism, Neoplatonism, Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry, Age of Enlightenment, Spiritualism, Kabbalah, Arcane, Microcosm and Microcosm, Occult, and Exoteric. Occultism, Arcane, Esoteric, Spiritualism, Theosophy, Anthroposophy, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, New Age, Occult Sciences, Astrology, Alchemy, and Natural Magic, Occult Qualities, Magnetism, Ether, and Occulture. This is a list of occult terms from A to Z. this is a list of occult symbols. Now, these are world religious and occult symbols. And these are occult symbols. And so let's be clear. Now, all that devil worship. Now, God is God. Let's make it clear now. God is God. All you devil worship. Now let me say this. You talking about the Constitution. You talking about being a human being. Now, over there at the United Nations, in New York and over there in Europe, you know they got the United Nations. What other building? Geneva, Switzerland. Okay? The United Nations. Being a human being. We all human beings, including the devil worship. We all human beings. And so the United Nations, all the human beings on this earth, have what they call human rights. Now we ain't talking about the United States here. We talking about at the United Nations. The United Nations Charter. All human beings on this earth are born with human rights. Every human being on this earth is guaranteed human rights. That's your right. Every human being on this earth is guaranteed human rights. Cannot be taken away, can't be denied. Every human being on this earth is guaranteed human rights. You born with human rights. You can't take human rights away from no human being. You know what I'm saying? Can't take that away. Now let me say this. Over there at the United Nations, human rights is not the same as self-defense. It's not the same. Because you have the United Nations peacekeepers. You have the United Nations peacekeepers that keep the peace. It's not the same. Because all nations on the earth, they get to argue. They'll start arguing and, bringing up issues about their sovereignty. The internet, every nation has its sovereignty, has its own laws. So what they'll say is this is our nation has sovereignty. So there again, human rights, that's one thing. Self-defense, that's something different. That's something else. That's something else. Now, when it comes to religion, that's not the same either. It's not the same. Because you have all these different versions. You have all the people talking about God and mysticism and all these kind of things, including devil worship. Including devil worship. Now, all you devil worshippers, somewhere along the way you've been misguided and misled. Let me say this. Let me put you on the right path here. Let me put you on the see, the devil is not over God. God is God. Now the devil rebelled against God. Being defiant, being disobedient. The devil being punished by God. Not the other way around. Not the other way around. The devil, as we speak right now, being punished by God. Being punished. Being punished by God. Now, the devil worshippers. The devil hate God and all that. And the devil, he deceives many people. He tried to deceive me. I'm not above no other human being. The devil deceived me. No, I'm not above being deceived by the devil or the devil attempt to deceive me. I have to read God's word to give myself strength from the temptations of the devil. And so the devil, Satan, supposedly being worshipped by many people, supposedly. Now, if you thought there was a right way to worship and a wrong way to worship the devil or Satan, and you're gonna sit around talking about your rights and you're gonna go to court and all that, look, you didn't get the whole thing mixed up. You didn't got the whole thing mixed up. See, your whole idea is being violent. You make it sound like you got rights and the church don't. You made it sound like you above the church. Well, let me put this in. You don't have that right. No, you don't. You don't have religious right, because it's not a religion. See, that's the lie you've been telling for the longest. You sitting around here trying to tell everybody that you have religious right. It's not a religion. Who told you that? God never said that. See, that's the point. See, it's God. I don't care what the law firm say. I don't care what the professor over there at the university say. God, what God say, that's what counts. That's what matters. And it's not nothing that God gonna tolerate. You sitting around trying to philosophize, talking about you gonna worship the devil, and that's not the right way to worship the devil. What is you talking about? You supposed to be worshiping God. You don't rebel against God. You don't disobey God. You don't defy God. How you gonna tell the people on this earth that you have rights when the devil being punished by God? That's the lie you've been telling. You don't have that right. But first of all, God didn't give you that right. God punishing the devil. So how you gonna go in a courtroom talking about you got the right to worship the devil when God is punishing the devil for being disobedient? God never said worship the devil. He never tolerated. So there's no such thing as you having the right to worship the devil. There's no such thing. Not even God would allow you on this earth or nowhere in this universe to worship the devil and not worship God. You don't have that right. You don't have that right. There's no such thing. And ain't nobody finna argue with you. Ain't nobody finna hear nothing that you gotta say. God punished the devil. There's no such thing as worshiping the devil. There's no such thing. You don't have that right. Nowhere in this universe. That's the end of the discussion. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. It ain't nothing to talk about. You don't have that right. The devil being punished at this very moment by God for all eternity, for being disobedient, for being rebellious, for being defiant. There's no such thing. You only worship God and God only. That's all. That's the end of the conversation. Matter of fact, what did Jesus? Matter of fact, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. I was getting there to make it clear. To make it clear. We in Matthew, in the New Testament, in the book of Matthew. You don't have that right. In the book of Matthew, and this is an Old Testament verse. In the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse number 10. Then saith Jesus unto him, the devil, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Where you get that from? That you're gonna worship the devil? God never said that. See, this is the point that's gonna be made in that court of law about rights. First of all, God told the devil, you don't worship the devil. So when did God give you the right to worship somebody else other than God? God didn't tell you that. So who you supposed to be that gonna tell everybody you got the right? No you don't. So just like Jesus told Satan, this is what I got to say to all you devil worship. Go somewhere. Go somewhere with that nonsense. Because you don't have that right. You don't have that right. Now, religious persecution. There's only one church. There's only one church. Only one. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Son of God, established only one church. That's the only church. See, don't forget, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, he had followers before he even said church. All his followers were following him from the Decapolis, from Judea, from Samaria, and from beyond Jordan. And for example, when he fed the 5,000, he had all these followers. You understand? For example, he had all these followers. Then he said church. See, you're not smart. You're going to take words out the Bible. See, that's what the devil did. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. There's no such thing, no Catholic Church. Saint Ignatius of Antioch. You know what I'm talking about. The one that wrote several letters. One of the letters that he wrote to the Smyrnaeans. And in that letter he wrote the phrase Catholic Church. Now, after he wrote that letter, the Romans at the Colosseum, in front of 50,000 plus fans, Saint Ignatius of Antioch was eaten alive by lions at the Roman Colosseum. Now, I don't know what day of the week it was. The historians, Tertullian and Tacitus and Josephus, they were all Christians and Jews. So their account is kind of swayed. It's swayed against the church, the disciples. And so, you understand? But just because somebody wrote a letter and wrote the phrase "Catholic," that don't mean you got some kind of claim or something like that. You know, I don't mean that. If anything, it was wrong what he done. What he done was wrong. The Catholic Church ain't right about nothing. See, this is what's gonna be. This is what what's gonna be done. See, the United Nations. Every nation on this earth is a member of the United Nations. See, gonna make it official. And see, at the International Criminal Court, you know, you have a public defender's office and you have a prosecuting attorney's office. Now, every one of these nations on the earth that's a member of the United Nations, they have a justice department and a ministry of justice. They know about it. something like that going on at the United Nations, the International Criminal Court, every nation on this earth gonna know about the Justice Department and the Ministry of Justice. It's gonna be a chain reaction. It's gonna be a chain reaction. It's gonna be a chain reaction. It's gonna be the same thing, for example, here in the United States of America, the Justice Department. And when you be talking about the Constitution, leave you on the street. See, they ain't dismissing no charges. Just leave you on the street temporary right now. It's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporary. Public Defender's Office, Prosecuting Attorney's Office. See, the only thing you can do, you can take a plea bargain. You can go to trial. You can get a plea bargain, or you can go try. Ain't no dismissing nothing. Criminal charges and civil charges, ain't no dismissing. No, ain't nobody finna tell me talking about they gonna dismiss charge because they ain't had no evidence because of lack of evidence. Leave you on the street. Leave you on the street for right now, temporary. But we gonna get this understood in the court of law. What you mean evidence? What's evidence? What do it take to get a conviction? See, this ain't about no DNA. See, it ain't necessarily gotta have no DNA for nobody. We ain't gotta have no confessions, and we ain't gotta have no emails and all that. This is about God's word and how people have taken God's word and distorted God's word, taking words out of the Bible, misusing and misusing God's word to commit atrocities and inhumanity, to commit crimes. Claiming you got rights. You don't have no rights. And the only right you got, human rights. As for talking about religion, that's not the same. Because first of all, the whole point is going to be made over and over and over and over again. First of all, God never allowed no devil worship. So what make you think you're going to go into the court of law and lie? God never allowed nobody to pass no other human being through the fire. So what right you got? God never allowed nobody to make no idol worship. God never allowed that. The apostles and the elders, based on inspiration from God, told the church, the Gentiles that believe and the Jews that believe, you can't even fornicate. You can't blood and strangle and idol worship. Where you gonna get freedom of religion from? You gonna go fornicate? You gonna go commit adultery? So how you gonna have freedom of religion when God telling you all the things that a devil worshiper do? God told you don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't worship idols. Don't pass other human beings through the fire. Don't make graven images. God told you don't do those things. And then you're going to turn around and go into a court of law talking about you got freedom of religion. No, you don't. Because first of all, God told you don't do that. So, taking words out of the Bible, religious persecution. Taking words out of the Bible, religious persecution. You're going to be prosecuted to the full extent of law. Criminal charge, civil charge. Criminal and civil charge. You're not getting away. You're not that smart. You're not that smart. Leave you on the street. Just leave you on the street. Temporary. It's temporary for right now. See, we got to get this thing established about evidence. See, the public defender's office, the prosecuting attorney's office, see, a lot of people don't have that experience. and I'm aware of it. The judge, they don't have that much experience. They'll be sitting around talking about some devil worship that came up here, talking about some Western esotericism, talking about they got rights, some Gnosticism, the Hermetism, and all of them. The Kabbalah, they'll be trying to come up in the court of law. The Jew and the Jews will be trying to come up in the court of law. The Jew and the Jews, they hate God. They hate God. They hate the children of Israel. They hate the church. So what right you gonna have? You a hate group, a terrorist group. See, religious persecution, religious persecution. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, wrote all those epistles. Religious persecution, called himself an apostle. Christians, religious persecution. Religious persecution. So, like I told you once before, I'm going to keep on saying, you come on down to the courthouse with your law degree, and you can defend whoever you want to defend, but I promise you, I guarantee you're going to be charged. Conspiracy. Conspiracy. You're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. You're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. You don't go against the church. You don't go against the church. See, the church is Jesus Christ, the Son of God. You don't go against the church because Jesus Christ is the head of the church. Jesus Christ is the head of the church. He's the head of the church. You don't go against the church. You don't take words out of the Bible. Call it a house church. The churches of Christ. The unaffiliated Church of Christ congregation. You're going to jail. You're going to jail for religious persecution. You're going to jail. Now, the public defenders are prosecuting attorneys off. Ain't no dismissing no charge. Ain't no dismissing no charge. You get a plea bargain, or you can go to trial. You don't make no. That's the only thing. You can get a plea bargain. You can plead, or you can go to trial. Ain't no dismissing no charge. So, like I say, it's temporary. People being on the street, the Church of England is temporary. The Catholic Church is temporary. It's temporary. It's not. You're not getting away. You're not smart. And Nation of Islam, more science temple. You're not smart. You ain't getting away. You ain't getting away. The 5% nation. You ain't getting away. You ain't getting a plea bargain or go to trial. You go to trial. All that whatever the new Black Panther Party. Look, don't blame me. Blame the devil worship. What's his name? Cali Muhammad. Blame him. See, when you go to college and get you a PhD and all that, see a lot of people, they go to college. You see a lot of the average person in the general public. See, you don't be knowing what a lot of these people do in the colleges, in the college campuses and universities. You don't be seeing what they do. They join these sorority and these fraternities, and all it is devil worship. That's devil worship. That's devil worship. The Black Hebrew Israelites. What's the name? Ben Ami over there. It's temporary. It's temporary. Gonna get you out the street. It's temporary right now. It's temporary. And the Rastafarians. It should be obvious to you by now. It should be obvious to the Rastafarians by now. You're not getting away. But some people, you have to reality had to actually put handcuffs on you and actually drag you on down to the courthouse and put you in jail. But it should be obvious to you, you're not getting away with lying, persecuting the church. You're not getting away with it. You're going to be held accountable and responsible. You're going to be held accountable and responsible. There's no such thing worshiping the devil. No such thing. It started with God, first of all. God didn't tolerate. God does not tolerate disobedience. God does not tolerate defiance. See? You know, a lot of that Pan-African stuff, all it is devil worship. That's all it is, devil worship. So, don't let the Catholic Church and all the particular churches and the Protestant Reformation movement churches and all of them American Restoration, Stone Temple Movement Church lie to you again. They're going to be held accountable and responsible in a court of law. Now it's temporary religious persecution. That's what you be doing. You be persecuting the church by lying, by following and listening to the devil. The devil is being punished by God, and you gonna be punished by God, just like the devil. Just like the devil. So you let that think, this reminds me, there's a lot of people outside of the United States. I was stuff be, things be on the news and get reported. And, for example, I want to give people outside the United States of America a good example of a person that need to be brought, that should be brought to court. We were talking about Al Sharpton, and we were talking about Jesse Jackson, and people like what's his name, Joel Osteen, and what's her name, Joyce Meyer. But you know what? Just this week, I was watching the news. I wasn't even looking for nothing, but it just came. And then I was on social media. I was on the internet, and they've been talking about this Nipsey Hussle. He got shot out there in Los Angeles, California. A gang member. He got shot and killed by another gang member. Somebody that he knew. Allegedly a person that he knew. Gang members, all around the country, be honest with you. Things like that happen every day. Being honest with you. But like I said, I want to give you an example. I want to give everybody outside the United States of America a good example of what I've been talking about. Religious persecution. A person with a PhD going around, running their mouth, going around, doing something that God didn't tell you to do. You understand? And like I said, they were talking about Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle got shot and killed. Out there in Los Angeles, California. Gang. But so-called religious people, got a PhD. And his name Michael Eric Dyson. Nipsey Hussle. And I was sitting there, I was just, wasn't even paying no attention, wasn't looking for nobody now, because it's been on the news, been in social media. But I just, out of nowhere, Michael Eric Dyson. Now I didn't heard of him before, But here it is, the Nipsey Hussle situation. And then, you're going to go out there to Los Angeles, California. I want the people outside in America, to see what I've been talking about. This is a good example. Michael Eric Dyson. A good example of a person who need to go to jail for religious persecution. For religious, but I don't even want nobody in Los Angeles, California not to see the wrong that this person done, that he has done and is doing. And it need to be brought to court. Ain't gonna be brought to court. But see, it's people outside the United States of America. They need to see. That's a good example. That's a good example. Michael Eric Dyson. Walking around with a PhD. Got a PhD. And he classifies himself as a civil rights leader. And so he was out there in California at the Nipsey Hussle vigil, talking about Nipsey Hussle and how he opened up a store out there, and how he opened up some kind of store, and he be making all these rap videos and claiming that he was giving back to the community. He Eritrean, and I think his father was Eritrean and mother African American, and out there gang number and talking about he supposed to be trying to do good things in the community and all this. Some of the stuff he been talking about, it really came from other people in the past who had criticized a lot of other entertainers, celebrity athletes and celebrity entertainers about the same issue, about people, when African Americans support, the celebrity athletes and celebrity entertainers, they make all this money, but then they don't give back. So this ain't nothing new. What he was saying wasn't really new. He was really saying what others said before him. And so I was looking at this Michael Eric Dyson, and he was trying to put this Nipsey Hussle, in this category because of things he had seen, about being a rap artist, and then after he make money, he's supposed to give back. Like I say, it ain't nothing that ain't been said. There's been a lot of people been criticizing African American celebrity athletes and entertainers about that issue. But Michael Eric Dyson, being out there in Los Angeles, California, claiming he's a civil rights leader, claiming he's a religious person and all this. See, people outside the United States of America get a good example of a person that need to be brought to court with a PhD, talking about he a Baptist, a Methodist, or something like that. You understand? And see, the people in Los Angeles, California, when you see him, then you'll comprehend what Eric talking about. You'll see what Eric talking about. Michael Eric Dyson. You'll see with a PhD, talking about he a Baptist and Baptist, Methodist, whichever, he a Protestant. Talking about he a Protestant, he not a Catholic. He not a Catholic, so he a Protestant. He ain't no American Restoration Movement, Stone Campbell Movement, he ain't no Church of Christ, so he's a Protestant. Need to be brought to the courthouse. Need to be brought to the courthouse and face judgment for the crimes he committed. Religious persecution. That's a good example of religious persecution. Michael Eric Dyson. People outside the United States, then you will see. You'll be like, you know what, Eric right. Now I understand what Eric talking about, religious persecution. I'm sitting here looking at this Michael Eric Dyson with a PhD, talking about he a civil rights leader and talking about he a Baptist. Now I see. You'll see. But the time. Let me see. tell you what, I'm gonna go to no later than 2:30, and then now I tell you what. Now I was looking at my clock. I'm trying to make sure when I, about to upload, and so I'm trying to time it so it won't take so long. So I'm looking at my clock. It's almost 4:30, and I started my video at a certain time, so it'll be like about 2.5 hours. So that's the only thing I was looking at the clock and trying to time when I'm gonna stop this video and start another video. Okay, let me see, 4:30. I tell you what, I'm gonna stop this video at 4:30. But let's see how many minutes I got. 4:23. I tell you what, let's keep on talking. I tell you what I'm gonna do before I start. I'm gonna end this video at 4:30. So let's keep talking about Michael Eric Dyson for about 7 more minutes, because this is something that people need to see. They need to see religious persecution. Religious persecution. Then they'll comprehend. See, the average person, the general public, they don't really just understand. They don't comprehend. But see, when you see somebody with a PhD walking around, talking about they are Protestant. Somebody walking around with a PhD, talking about the American Restoration Movement, the Stone Camel Movement. Somebody walking around with a PhD, talking about they are Catholic. Somebody walking around like Khalid Muhammad walking around talking about the new Black Panther Party. You need to pay attention. Religious persecution, because of the average citizen, they really don't know what constitutes. It's just like devil worship. The average citizen don't really understand what constitutes devil worship. Well, see, that's the reason why I put it out there. Like, say, first of all, God never tolerated passing other human beings through the fire. God had already told you He don't tolerate idol worship. So, what constitutes devil worship? Disobedience to God, fornication, adultery. If God tell you don't do that, and you do it, God tell you don't make graven images. You go out there and make graven images. What you doing? What you making a graven image for? God told you don't make no graven images. Don't make no graven images. He told you that. So that will constitute devil worship. When you take words out the Bible, you say at church. God told you, Jesus Christ never told you to go write no epistles and then call yourself a Baptist, a Methodist. You never said that. You be lying. You lying. Just like Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. See, that what Michael Eric Dyson did. See, that he took those epistles that Saul wrote. When Saul said, I'm an apostle. See, this what Michael Eric Dyson did. He used those epistles that Paul wrote. He used those epistles that Paul wrote to call himself a Baptist preacher. Then had the nerve to call himself a civil rights leader. He gonna use, the ministry as a means of influence. See, you need to be about. They gonna see it's temporary. It's temporary. But see, people outside the United States of America, see, when I be talking, they don't comprehend. But see, that'll be a good example for them to see religious persecution. Michael Eric Dyson. Michael Eric Dyson. You'll see. You'll be like, you know what? Now I'm really starting to see religious persecution. And when his attorney come down to the courthouse, like I told you last time, I'm going to tell you again. When you get down to that courthouse, talking about you going to defend Michael Eric Dyson, I got something. You going to be charged. Conspiracy, conspiring against the church. you going to jail for the rest of your life. You don't go against the church. You don't go against the church. You don't go against the church. But you're going to find out. You're going to see. You're going to see. Tell you, a whole lot of people going to see reality. You ain't getting away with persecuting the church. Just like Paul didn't get away with it. You're not getting away with it either. See, that's the whole point about God, the Holy Ghost, the Father. See, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, is that the devil did not get away with being rebellious. That's what it means. The devil does not get away with being rebellious. You don't get away with deceiving his creation. You don't get away with being defiant. You don't get away with being disobedient. There's no such thing as religious freedom for no devil worship. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Don't even consider coming to no courthouse talking about your rights. You don't have no rights. Because there's no such thing as passing other human beings through the fire. There's no religion. There's no such thing as worshiping idols. There's no such thing as making no graven image. God told you don't do it. There's no such thing as you even committing adultery. There's no such thing as you fornicating. There's no such thing as you lying. God wrote the 10 Commandments and gave the 10 Commandments to the children of Israel. Even when the children of Israel disobeyed God, they were punished by God. See, that's the whole point. God does not tolerate being disobedient and defiant. He don't tolerate it. And you're not going to get away with it. You're going to be prosecuted for religious persecution. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. You're not smart. You're not smart at all. You ain't smart at all. The time, a couple seconds. But like I say, it's going to be justice for the church. It's going to be justice for the church. It's only one church. There's only one church. All this religious persecution, you're not getting away with it. You're not getting away with it. Nowhere on this earth, nowhere in this universe, you're not getting away with persecuting the church. Now I'm going to get ready to end this video. No, buddy. Now, I'm going to get ready to end. I'm going to end this video. It's going to be part 1. It's going to be part 1 of this video. It's going to be part 1. It's going to be dated April the 7th, 2019, part 1. We don't start part 2. If these seconds go by.